a scientist is shown at the start of the movie. He was transferring a mysterious creature into his body. Afterwards, his eyes are turned into blue color, and he is transformed into a werewolf, and the scene drops here with this. Then the major character, named Lang Jun of the movie, is shown, who is delivering the goods by his car. Then Lang Jun listens the news that some people were inexplicably disappearing in the city. Meanwhile, Lang Jun receives the call of his uncle Zhang, and he wishes his birthday. Then he witnesses an upside-down car on his way. He attempts to rescue the man of that car. When he moves to that car, then that creature seen at the start of the movie, it transfers into the body of Lang Jun, coming out of the body of that boy. Consequently, he is also transformed into a werewolf. Then a secret military approaches there. It was looking as they have come to capture him with full preparation. But it was not enough. As Lang Jun transforms into werewolf, then he kills all there with no difficulty. But a female fighter fires at him with green laser. Then he immediately runs away. But that force's leader was not happy at all by this, because he was in the search of that person who might adjust with that creature perfectly. So he had not found a man as such till yet. On the other side, Lang Jun eats like an animal, strangely, as he approaches at home. And he also behaves like the animals. In the end, he also vomits because of overeating. He glimpses the reflection of werewolf as he looks himself into the mirror. Consequently, he is so afraid, and he loses his consciousness in his bathtub. Then he observes some changing in himself as he wakes up, as his listening skill had very increased. At the same time, he listens a news, which was broadcasting that the scratches seen before 12 years, they have found the same searches last night. Knowing this, Lang Jun gets very upset. When Lang Jun goes to his job in the morning, then his boss shows his anger on him, because he had left his stuffed goods car on the road last night. Later, Lang Jun's boss tries to hit him with can and rage, then he hits back it. As a result, that can strikes on the wall, and it is hit on the wall so forcefully that the crack on the wall is caused by that. This is witnessed by his boss, who is very scared, and that place is left by Lang Jun without uttering a word there. Meanwhile, it is seen that Lang Jun had been kept an eye on by a man, and a little girl on the road is also secured by Lang Jun with this from facing an accident. And his childhood is also reminded by him with this, where he was being teased by two kids. But any action cannot be taken by Lang Jun because of his feebleness. At the same time, his friend saves him, coming there. In the meantime, he brings into his memory that there's his friend's boxing match today. So he instantly moves to view the match of his friend, where it is witnessed that his friend wins the match from her rival. In spite of this, her rival pushes her down. At the same time, Lang Jun catches her, moving ahead. Meanwhile, Lang Jun's boss son comes there. He challenges Lang Jun for the boxing match, and he accepts this. Lang Jun loses his senses with one punch as their fight is held. Force's leader is seen at the same time, who had still kept an eye on Lang Jun. It is also known here that scientist shown at the beginning of the movie, he is not anyone else but Lang Jun's father, who has died because of a cause. And Lang Jun's mother had also died due to some disease. Consequently, Lang Jun was all alone from his childhood. It is also revealed that Lang Jun was the last hope of a company for their experiment, because that creature in the body of Lang Jun had fully attached with his body. So Force's leader asks his member to capture Lang Jun as soon as possible. Contrarily, Lang Jun was at the home of his friend when he wakes up. She asks Lang Jun, "Why did you take that challenge in spite of my forbidding?" He is telling this to her then, he notices a bandage on the face of his friend, which belonged to a company Senulian. For this company, in fact, Lang Jun's father and that lady used to serve. That female soldier who had tried to fire her gun at Lang Jun at that night. After this, Lang Jun's friend shows him the photo of her brother, who had disappeared in a very mysterious way. Lang Jun tells her that he has witnessed her brother in the same company. At the same place, the members of that company arrived there to capture Lang Jun. Now, Lang Jun hides under their car to keep himself hidden, and he leaves his cell phone in their car to track them down. Later, Lang Jun's friend asks him, "Why did they come here?" Lang Jun tells her that they had come here to capture me, because I have a creature on which they are researching. Lang Jun goes to his uncle named Zhang to get more information about this. When Lang Jun goes to his uncle's laboratory to meet him, then he notices that it is set on fire. He protects him from the fire and asks his Uncle Zhang about that company. But he has no knowledge about this. After this, when Lang Jun is returning back, then it is seen that someone was chasing him again. At this time, he captures him and takes that boy to her friend. He is told by that boy that he did not want to chase him, but he just wanted to know about that company. So he was chasing him, and he was also a hacker with this, who had caught dangerous criminals within a moment. So he takes that boy in his team, because that boy delivers the whole information about that company to Lang Jun. He tells him it is such a company famous for its oil trading. But there is also a dark aspect of this company, as they trade the illegal chemical weapon from other countries. And it is the same company where Lang Jun's father and uncle used to serve. Meanwhile, he also tells Lang Jun's friend that he had contacted with him before her brother's disappearance. He also tells it all missing people are given a chance to play a game before missing. Lang Jun's friend also agrees with this because her brother had also got the same offer. Next day, Lang Jun was moving somewhere with his friend. At the same time, he receives the call of the same boy, who had delivered all data about that company to him. Then Commander and his military approach there. Before this, he tells more details. Lang Jun gets ready to go with them in order to rescue his friend. Lang Jun moves away, sitting with them in their car. But his friend follows that car in the meantime. And she stops that car. As being a great boxer, she faces the members of that force there. And she flees, soon after rescuing Lang Jun from them. Then both go to the Uncle Zhang and asks him about all the matters from him. Now his Uncle Zhang reveals the truth and tells he and his father used to serve in that company, where he wanted to manufacture such medication through which they could cure any disease. When all knew about the death of Lang Jun's father, then they all dejected, so they also stopped working on their project with this. Now Lang Jun asks the cause of his father's death after hearing Zhang's facts. He tells on this when his mother died because of one disease. As a result, his father had lost his courage and had barred him from working with that company anymore.